All right, let's do the voting. Okay, so I'm going to switch back over to VS Code. All right, let's go ahead and make our vote component. So we're going to go ahead to our components, and I'm going to do votes.tsx. Okay, export function votes. Okay, and I have a vote CSS I'll go over in a second, already made. I'm going to go ahead and import it. Import CSS votes CSS. All right. Okay, so this is, again, we got our basic functional component in React. I also tend to just go ahead and place the components where they're going to be. So go back to the root component, app.tsx. Okay, and then do votes. All right, let's go back to votes. Okay, we're going to return, and then we'll just put this right here. All right. So for votes, we need to, let me look at the spec. Okay, it says vote here, and we have 3 buttons and some progress bars. So, okay, let's do that. So I'm just going to go ahead and make the div class name equals votes. Okay, I just decided that was going to be a class name. All right, so we have a button group. Oh, not this one. What did I call it? So it was an index.css. I call it button bar. Okay, so we have div. So we have what is it? Vote, I guess. And then we have div class equals button bar, because that's what I decided to name it. Class name. Okay, we can't use class. First button is chocolate. Second button is frases. And third button's vanilla. All right, cool. So we've got our buttons, and then we'll do the rest in a second. I'll take a look and see what we got so far. All right, so as you can see, we added our vote component on the right side, and it's got the 3 buttons: chocolate, strawberry, and vanilla. All right, so this the functionality for this component is that the person picks one of the flavors and they vote towards it. So that means that we got to keep a vote count. So if someone clicks on chocolate, the vote count for chocolate should go up by 1. Then we're supposed to show percentage of the vote. So how many, what percentage of the total vote is chocolate? What percentage of the total vote is strawberry? All right, so there's going to be a lot of state. There's a lot of variables here. You can do this a lot of different ways, but we're going to use those hooks, the state hooks, okay, to help us keep track of the votes, because that's the state of the component. That part is variable. So before the return, let's use some state. Constant chocolate votes, set chocolate votes equals use state. Okay, and it's going to start off at 0. Okay, if it complains like it can't find use state, that's fine. Just import it from React. Okay, it's part of the React library. All right, and then let's make a state for strawberry. Set strawberry votes equals use state. It starts off at 0. And then I'm going to do the same thing for vanilla. All right, so we got the state of our component is that we keep track of votes for chocolate, strawberry, and vanilla. Now, the cool thing is, because this function, the component is a function, we can add some additional functionality. So for example, if I want to do like function get total, I can return chocolate votes plus strawberry votes, plus vanilla votes. Okay, this is going to be useful because remember, I have to show a percentage of how many votes are chocolate, so I need to get the denominator, when I do the division. So this will give this to me, and see how like chocolate votes, this variable is in the scope of the whole function, so I get to use it, which is cool. All right, and then I need to have a function that will display. So let's call it display percentage. So it's camel case. Okay, and this function is going to help me with display. Like, so for example, we want to show like 30%, not like 30.99. We want to have like a percent sign, and we want it to like look nice. So I'm going to call n a number, and total, which is a number. Okay, so if total is equal to 0, return. Okay, so we'll make this nice looking string. So we'll just say, okay, cool, return else. All right, we're going to return n divided by total. So let's do like n divided by total dot to fixed. To fixed is a function that says how many decimal places do you want. So like I would like one number after the decimal point. So for example, like 30.5 or 50.7. If you don't say this, it'll give you like all the numbers, like 50.7582 or whatever it is. I don't want all those numbers. I just want one after the decimal point. Okay, and I'll put a percent sign after it so it looks nice. Okay, so these are my helper functions to help me display things. All right, cool. Now, let's go ahead and add some events to our buttons. So let's do onClick equals. All right, and then we're going to do set chocolate value, set chocolate votes to chocolate votes plus 1. All right. Oops, forgot. Always forget this. If you don't put the function here, it will complain. Okay, because technically speaking, that was not what it expected to return. All right, I'm going to do the same thing, set chocolate votes. So remember, we define these names of these functions up here. Okay, so set strawberry. Set vanilla. All right, so now when these buttons are clicked, those vote totals will get updated by the React UI. All right, so now we've got a little bit of a challenge because all the votes start off at 0, and if there are no votes, then we want to display saying, hey, there's no votes. But if there are votes, then we can just start displaying the progress bar and all that good stuff. Okay, this is called conditional rendering. All right, so I gotta do like HTML. All right, so we're gonna do conditional rendering. So we're gonna do curly braces, and then you can put your condition here. So like, so for example, I know that get total, it will like, let's say get total is 0, so get total equals 0. Okay, then we can tell the computer what to do. So this is a condition. All right, so let's go ahead and use a ternary operator actually. So get total equals 0. Okay, so if it's equal to 0, then I'm going to display some HTML that's going to basically say no one has voted yet. Otherwise, root component, voting has begun. I'm just going to do it like this for right now. All right, this syntax, well, let's break it down. First off, I did these curly brackets to let the computer know I'm doing JavaScript now. All right, so that way it knows like, hey, I should expect some like if statements and things like that. So I did get total, which tells me the total number of votes. So for example, it gives the sum of chocolate, strawberry, and vanilla votes. They all start off at 0. So at the very beginning, the total amount of votes will be 0. Cool. So if the total amount of votes is 0, it will display no one has voted yet. You have to keep in mind that like it needs apparent elements. That's why I put these blank tags here. Okay, you need them. Okay, so I do the blank tag, and then I put like the HTML I wanted to render if get total is 0. I repeat, if get total is 0, then we're going to render this. This is what will be shown to the screen. Else, render this to the screen. So let's go ahead and take a look and see if it works. All right, so let's go ahead. So right now it says no one has voted yet because that makes sense. I think I have an extra something hanging out somewhere. All right, oh, here we go. Got rid of that semicolon. So let's say I hit chocolate. Voting has begun. So the UI changed. So first, chocolate was 0. Chocolate votes was 0. So it displayed the first thing. No one has voted yet. I click the button. Chocolate votes go from 0 to 1. So now that condition is no longer true. So now it will display the other thing. Okay, so again, like conditional rendering. Based on the variables, based on the state of the component, different things will be rendered to the screen. So let's go ahead and change this. I'm going to put label chocolate. And then I'm going to put the number of votes. So in order to like use a variable, I'm going to go ahead and use these curly brackets. So chocolate votes. And then I want to put this in the parentheses. And then I'm going to use my display percentage. So, oops, gotta do this. Okay, so curly brackets, I'm doing JavaScript, display percentage. Chocolate votes. And get total. All right, so let's give this a try. Okay, as you can see, this is ooh, I gotta change my so it says chocolate 1 is a vote, and then it says 1%, which is incorrect. So let's change that a bit. I think I did something wrong with my function. Oh, I have to multiply by 100. Okay, so n total times 100. There we go. Okay, I forgot to multiply by 100. There we go. So we have chocolate. Okay, that 1 is that variable that we have from the state. Let me scroll up so you can see it. So we have this variable chocolate votes. That is a state variable. We keep track of it as part of the component. So when I click on the voting for chocolate button, so where it says chocolate, that state will change. See, this is 2, then 3, then 4, and it's 100% of the total votes. Let's go ahead and start adding in the other flavors, and we can kind of see how this works together. So chocolate, and then I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing for strawberry and vanilla. So actually, just do label strawberry. Okay, template strawberry votes. Okay, again, the curly brackets means, hey, I'm doing JavaScript now. Okay, follows the same pattern as before. And we'll do the next one with vanilla. Vanilla votes and get total. Okay, and then let's go ahead and go back. All right, so at the beginning, no one's voted yet, so let's go ahead and if I do chocolate, okay, you'll see strawberry 0, vanilla 0. So I click them and the percentages update. Play around with it for a little bit. Okay, you see how that works? So now we can see all of this complex logic coming together. So I have my state variables to keep track of how many votes for chocolate, strawberry, and vanilla respectively. I also wrote a function to display percentages, okay, based on how many total votes there are and how many votes are for each of the different flavors, okay? And then I was able to conditionally render them, meaning my page, it changes what's shown on the screen based on these variables, the state of the component. Okay, that's why I'm able to do all these things. All right, so we're able to do this. The next thing we're going to do is put the progress in. Let's clean this up a little bit. Okay, I'd like these on different lines. Okay, let's go ahead and move them around. Okay, I'll move you over. Okay, move you over, get rid of this extra blank space. All right, there we go. So I did that so that they would all appear on different lines like this. All right, so now we can see how this is all working. Again, play with this for a little bit so you can get used to it. Let's go ahead and add the progress bar. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to, underneath these, there is a progress tag, which is pretty cool. And it will make a little bar. And we're going to go ahead and I've made some classes. Okay, so for example, progress chocolate, it has two, there's going to be two colors. One's going to be like the background bar color and then the bar as it goes to the right. So let me kind of show you what that means. All right, so progress chocolate, let's go ahead and we do progress. And then I got to give it a different class based on class name. So we're going to call this class name progress chocolate. And it's, let's do style equals width is going to be a percentage. So it's going to be like chocolate votes over total votes, I believe. Okay, so what we could do is chocolate count over get total. So we can do chocolate votes divided by get total. So basically the width is how far over the bar goes. You'll see in a second. Actually it should be value. For progress it's value, not style. So sorry, value equals, but same idea. Chocolate votes divided by get total. All right, let's take a look and see how that looks. All right, so you see now there's a progress bar there. That progress tag does this. The gray is the background color, and then we set the progress color to brown. All right, so now you can see like if I click on like chocolate, that bar will move, which is pretty dope. Okay, based on the percentage. All right, if you look back at the code, I gave it the value, basically like how far over the bar is the value, and then that's a percentage of 100. So basically it's chocolate votes divided by get total. Whatever that percentage is, that will show on the bar. It will adjust itself accordingly. So let's go ahead and put the other ones in there for strawberry and vanilla. And they're basically the same thing. Strawberry. The only thing I didn't remember is keeping track of which variable is which. This is Y. And then last one is vanilla. And in the CSS, I gave them all different colors. So you'll see progress chocolate, that is the background color. And then this MOZ progress bar, that is how you target the actual like indicator going right and left, because that's what it is. All right, so it's all saved, and let's go back. No one's voted yet, that's fine. If I hit chocolate, it'll go over strawberry, vanilla, and then you can see as you click different buttons, the progress bar will change. Okay, so you always have the number of votes, 8, the percentage, and then in the UI will update as these events go by. And so this is actually pretty cool. It's a neat way of showing voting totals. All right, so go over this code. Again, there's a lot going on, as you can see, and this is why we use React, because before when we were using vanilla JavaScript, we weren't really doing anything like mega complicated, right? But like Now we have like conditional rendering. Like I want to show one thing if this variable is this way and show a different thing. And then we have all of these like state variables that keep track of the votes. So a React component can have actually a lot of moving parts, all right, and display differently based on the state. Like we're going to change the classes, we're going to change the styles. We may need helper functions. All right, so for example, I made some helper functions to help me display the percentages. Okay, like here. Okay, and like getting the total, like we may need extra functionality like this. Okay, React gives us space to do all of that. We can keep track of state and update the UI however we like based on state. That is what React gives us. That is why we're using this library. All right, so we got that together. So it looks like our app, our ice cream war is over. You can vote for your ice cream, can get a percentage, and you're able to update your ad, change the text size, change the color, and change which ice cream it is. Now, this CSS leaves a lot to be desired, but my main focus was the functionality. So go back over different points, and again, this is probably the hardest one out of all of them, especially with the conditional uh, rendering. Okay, it may take a little while to get used to this whole like inline JavaScript to show different UI, like to show different things and render different things based on variables. That's probably the hardest thing. Just kind of remember that like you're going to need these empty tags, okay, for each different like thing you want to show based on a variable. All right, but try this, type it out, go over it. Let TypeScript yell at you in case you make a mistake. And we've done the ice cream war.